500,000 years had passed since humans vanished from Earth. The planet, once full of life, was now a silent ghost world. Trees grew over the ruins of cities, and nature reclaimed what was once mankind's domain. But in the depths of space, a group of aliens called the Zeltrax were about to make a shocking discovery. The Zeltrax were a curious race, known for their keen interest in the past. One day, while scanning the cosmos for old signals, they picked up strange, repeating patterns coming from a small blue planet. The patterns were unlike anything they had encountered before. Excited, they gathered in their command center, a sleek spaceship filled with advanced technology. "Commander Varric, look at this!" one of the scientists exclaimed, pointing at the screens. "These signals are coming from Earth." Commander Varric, a tall alien with bright green skin and sharp eyes, studied the data closely. "Interesting. We thought this planet was abandoned. Prepare a ship for exploration. We must find out what these signals mean." The Zeltrax quickly made their preparations. As the ship soared through the stars, the crew buzzed with excitement and nervousness. They had heard stories about humans, tales of their intelligence and creativity. Now, they were about to see the remnants of their civilization. When they arrived in Earth's orbit, they looked down at the blue and green planet. It was beautiful yet different. The great cities of steel and glass were now just memories beneath the thick foliage. The Zeltrax ship descended toward a large area of ruins. As the ship touched down, the crew stepped outside, their eyes wide with wonder. "It's incredible," Varric said, gazing at the crumbling skyscrapers covered in vines. "This must have been a great city." They moved through the ruins, discovering broken machines and ancient artifacts scattered everywhere. Each item told a story of a time long gone. "What happened to them?" one crew member asked, shaking his head in disbelief. How could such a powerful race disappear? While exploring, they stumbled upon an old building. Inside, they found walls covered in strange drawings and symbols. The aliens took pictures and recorded everything. "These markings might give us clues about humans," Varric said, feeling a sense of excitement. Then they discovered a hidden chamber at the center of the building. As they entered, they found a large, dusty control panel. The team quickly set to work, trying to understand how it operated. After some time, they activated it, and the room lit up with a blue glow. A hologram flickered to life, showing a human soldier in a futuristic uniform. The Zeltrax watched in awe as the soldier spoke. "This is a message for anyone who finds this. We fought to protect our planet. We built a fleet to defend against threats. If you are listening, remember us. We were once proud and strong." Varric felt a strange connection to the human soldier. They fought for their home, he thought. "We must learn from them." Just then, the ship's sensors beeped loudly. "Commander, we are picking up a strong energy signature nearby," a crew member shouted. Varric's heart raced. Could it be the source of the signals? The crew hurried outside and followed the readings through the ruins. They reached a large open area where the ground was cracked and uneven. In the center, they saw something extraordinary, a massive structure half buried in dirt and roots. It looked like a gigantic ship, covered in strange symbols that matched the drawings they had seen earlier. "What is this?" another crew member asked, eyes wide with disbelief. Varric stepped closer, feeling a mixture of fear and excitement. "I believe it's their war fleet," he said. "This could be the key to understanding humans." As they examined the ship, the Zeltrax felt a sense of purpose. They had come to explore, but now they were on a mission to uncover the truth about humanity. They wanted to understand the race that once ruled Earth and ensure that their legacy lived on even in their absence. Little did they know, awakening the ancient fleet would change everything. The Zeltrax gathered around the massive ship, their hearts racing with excitement. Commander Varric led the group closer to the enormous structure that had once been a powerful warship. The air was thick with mystery, and the aliens could feel that they were standing on the brink of something extraordinary. "What do you think we should do first?" one of the crew members asked, his eyes wide with curiosity. Varric replied, "We need to examine the ship's systems. There may be a way to wake it up. If we can do that, we could learn how to use it." The crew nodded, their determination growing stronger. The team worked quickly to set up their equipment. They used small drones to scan the ship's surface, searching for any signs of power or life. The drones buzzed around, their lights flickering as they sent data back to the Zeltrax. After a few tense moments, a beeping sound echoed in the air. "Commander, we have detected energy readings coming from within the ship," another crew member announced. excitement bubbling in his voice. "Excellent. Let's get to work," Varric said, feeling a surge of adrenaline. The crew set up a control panel near the ship's entrance. They connected their devices to the ancient technology, hoping to bridge the gap between their knowledge and that of the long-gone humans. As they worked, Varric couldn't help but wonder about the crew that once operated this ship. What were they like, he thought? What battles did they fight? The weight of history pressed down on him, making him feel the responsibility of bringing this ship back to life. Hours passed as the crew struggled to interface with the ship's systems. Just when they were about to lose hope, one of the crew shouted, "I think I found a power source!" They all crowded around the small screen, their eyes glued to the data. With a deep breath, Varric instructed, "Let's activate it. We have to be careful. We don't know what might happen." The crew pressed the button together. A low hum filled the air as the ship responded. The ground shook slightly beneath their feet, and the lights on the ship flickered to life. A warm blue glow spread across the hull, illuminating the area around them. "Look! It's working!" someone shouted, pointing at the ship. The Zeltrax cheered, their voices echoing in the ruins. The excitement was electric. As the hum grew louder, the ship's doors slowly opened, revealing a dark interior. The crew hesitated for a moment, but Varric stepped forward. "We must go inside," he urged. "We need to see what we can learn." They entered the ship, their hearts pounding with anticipation. Inside, the walls were lined with advanced technology, much of it covered in dust, but still intact. Control panels flashed with ancient symbols and lights that pulsed like a heartbeat. "Can you believe it? This technology is far more advanced than ours," one of the crew members exclaimed, awestruck. As they explored deeper, they found a central command room. In the center was a large holographic display that showed a star map of the galaxy. "This must have been their navigation system," Varric said, amazed. "We could use this to understand their routes and the enemies they faced." Just then, a voice echoed through the room. "Welcome, Commander." It was a holographic projection of a human, dressed in a military uniform. The crew stood frozen, captivated by the figure before them. "If you are seeing this, it means our ship has been awakened." The hologram continued, "We fought to protect Earth against great dangers. We are the last remnants of humanity. If you wish to learn from us, you must understand our history and our choices." Varric felt a deep connection to this human. "We want to honor your legacy," he said, his voice filled with respect. "We seek knowledge and understanding." The holographic figure nodded. "Then prepare yourselves. The truth of our past is not easy to bear, but in our history lies wisdom that can protect your future." As the hologram faded, the crew looked at each other with renewed determination. They had awakened not just a ship, but the memories of a lost race. The Zeltrax knew that their journey was just beginning. They had to learn from the past to protect the future. With the ship now alive and the wisdom of humanity at their fingertips, Varric and his crew prepared to dive deeper into the secrets of the ancient fleet. They were ready to unlock the mysteries of the humans who had once ruled Earth and to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The atmosphere inside the ancient warship buzzed with energy. The Zeltrax crew gathered in the command room, still reeling from the holographic message they had just seen. Commander Varric stood at the center, a mixture of excitement and concern on his face. "Now that we have awakened the ship, we need to learn everything we can about humanity," he said, his voice firm. "Their history, their battles, and their choices will guide us in our journey." The crew nodded, eager to begin. They activated the ship's advanced computer system, hoping it held records of humanity's past. Bright screens lit up, displaying countless files, images, and videos. The Zeltrax gasped in awe at the wealth of information before them. One crew member, Jarek, pointed to a video labeled Final Stand. "Let's watch this one first. It sounds important." Varric agreed, and they pressed the play button. The screen flickered to life, showing a battlefield filled with chaos. Humans in futuristic armor fought against towering alien creatures. The footage was shaky, but the bravery of the humans was clear. They worked together, coordinating their attacks and using advanced weapons with precision. "This was a desperate fight," Jarek said quietly, his eyes glued to the screen. "They fought to protect their home." As the video continued, the Zeltrax saw the soldiers fall one by one. The images grew darker, showing the destruction of cities and the loss of life. Varric felt a knot in his stomach. He realized that humanity had faced incredible challenges. When the video ended, a heavy silence filled the room. They didn't give up, another crew member said softly. Even when things looked hopeless, they fought for each other. Let's look at another file, Varric said, wanting to shift the mood. They scrolled through the options and selected a document titled The Alliance. The text described how humans had worked together with other species to create peace and cooperation. They believed in unity, Varric noted, impressed. They knew they were stronger together. Another crew member, Lyra, added, "It seems they valued friendship and trust. We can learn a lot from their way of thinking." As they continued their research, the crew found more records about humanity's inventions and innovations. They studied designs for advanced technology, spacecraft, and weapons. Each discovery deepened their understanding of the humans' creativity and intelligence. Hours passed, but the Zeltrax were absorbed in their studies. They laughed at videos of humans working together, sharing moments of joy and overcoming challenges. But they also felt the weight of loss, understanding that the humans had faced terrible choices. "Look at this," Jarek said, pointing to an image of a young girl standing beside a powerful war machine. "This shows how important it was for them to protect their future." Varric leaned closer, his heart heavy. They wanted to ensure that the next generation would not have to fight as they did. That's a lesson we must remember. Finally, they stumbled upon a file titled The Final Decision. Varric felt a chill as he opened it. The document described a time when humans had to choose between fighting to the end or fleeing to save their people. "This is it," Varric said, his voice low. "This is where they made their last stand." As they read through the file, the Zeltrax learned that many humans believed they could not abandon their planet, even when faced with overwhelming odds. They chose to fight, knowing it could lead to their end. The weight of this decision hung heavily in the air. "What courage they had," Lyra whispered. "But at what cost?" Varric closed the file, deep in thought. "We need to honor their choices by learning from their mistakes. We must ensure we do not repeat the same errors." With renewed determination, the Zeltrax made a pact. They would take the lessons of humanity to heart. They would learn to value unity, creativity, and the strength that comes from working together. As they continued to explore the ship's vast knowledge, they felt a connection to the humans who had once walked the Earth. The Zeltrax realized that understanding the past was not just about knowledge, it was about respect and hope for the future. With each discovery, they grew more committed to preserving humanity's legacy. The echoes of the past guided them, preparing them for the challenges they would soon face. The Zeltrax knew they were not just explorers anymore. They were guardians of a lost world. The mood inside the ancient warship was charged with excitement. The Zeltrax had learned much about humanity's past and felt a deep respect for the courageous race that once inhabited Earth. They believed they were ready to honor that legacy. But as they continued their work, a new threat was lurking just beyond the stars. One quiet afternoon, while the crew was analyzing data, the ship's alarm suddenly blared. Red lights flashed, and the command room filled with a sense of urgency. Commander Varric immediately stepped forward, his heart racing. "What's happening?" he demanded. "Commander, we are detecting a large fleet approaching our location," a crew member shouted, eyes wide with fear. "They appear to be armed and hostile." Varric felt a rush of adrenaline. "Identify the fleet. Who are they?" The crew member quickly scanned the data. "It's the Gareth, Commander. They are known for their aggressive tactics and desire to conquer new worlds." "Prepare for battle," Varric ordered, his voice steady despite the chaos. "We must protect this ship and what we have learned about humanity." The crew sprang into action, their training kicking in. They activated the warship's defense systems, readying weapons and shields. Varric watched as the crew moved with purpose, but inside he felt a gnawing fear. They had only just awakened this ancient fleet, and now it could all be taken from them. As the Gareth fleet drew closer, Varric's mind raced. He recalled the lessons they had learned from the humans. "We need to outsmart them," he said to his crew. "Let's use their own tactics against them." The Zeltrax began to devise a plan. They would not simply charge into battle, but instead would use stealth and strategy. Varric pointed at the star map displayed in the command room. "If we maneuver through the asteroid belt, we can hide our presence until the last moment." The crew quickly agreed and prepared to execute the plan. The ancient warship glided silently through the darkness, the crew tense with anticipation. They watched as the Gareth ships flew past, unaware of the hidden danger lurking just ahead. As they neared the enemy fleet, Varric's heart pounded. "Now! Let's surprise them!" he shouted. With a sudden burst of speed, The Zeltrax warship emerged from the shadows of the asteroids, firing weapons at the unsuspecting Garroth. The surprise attack sent shockwaves through the enemy ranks. Explosions lit up the void of space, and the Garroth ships began to panic. "Keep up the pressure!" Varric commanded, feeling a surge of confidence. The crew cheered as they fought bravely, remembering the courage of the humans they had studied. They fought not only for their own survival but to protect the legacy of Earth. But just when it seemed they had the upper hand, a larger Garroth ship appeared. It was heavily armed and advanced, unlike anything the Zeltrax had encountered before. "Commander, we can't hold off that ship for long," a crew member shouted, fear creeping into their voice. Varric felt a rush of urgency. "We need to retreat and regroup. We can't let them overwhelm us." The crew quickly maneuvered the ship, dodging incoming fire while they plotted a new course. They had learned from the humans that sometimes retreat was the best strategy to ensure survival. As they fled into the depths of the asteroid field, Varric felt a mix of emotions. They had come so far, but the Garroth had proven to be a formidable enemy. "We must think of a new plan," he said, his voice steady despite the chaos around him. In the safety of the asteroid field, the crew gathered to discuss their next move. "We can't keep running forever," Jarek said, frustration evident in his voice. "We need to find a way to defeat them." Varric nodded, understanding the weight of their situation. "Let's use what we've learned about humanity's battles. They often turn their enemies' strengths against them. We need to be clever and find a weakness in the Garroth." With determination in their hearts, the Zeltrax began to devise a new plan. They would study the Garroth fleet's movements, looking for patterns and vulnerabilities. They knew that to honor the legacy of humanity, they had to fight smart and find a way to protect not just themselves, but also the knowledge they had gained from the past. The danger was real, but so was their resolve. They were not just explorers anymore, they were protectors of Earth's history and guardians of its future. Together, they would find a way to turn the tide against the Garroth and defend the legacy of a lost race. The tension in the Zeltrax warship was palpable as the crew prepared for the final confrontation with the Garroth fleet. Commander Varric stood at the helm, his mind racing with strategies. They had spent the last few days studying their enemy, and now they felt ready to make a stand. "We need to make this fight count," Varric said, looking at his crew. "We fight not just for ourselves, but for the legacy of humanity and the knowledge they left behind. We must honor their courage." The crew nodded, their faces determined. They had learned much from the humans, and now it was time to put that knowledge to use. As they approached the Garroth fleet, the atmosphere was thick with anticipation. Varric studied the enemy ships on the display. The Garroth had regrouped, and their fleet was larger than before. "They are underestimating us," he said, a fierce resolve in his voice. "We will show them that we are not an easy target." The Zeltrax warship moved stealthily through the darkness, taking advantage of the asteroid field as they had done before. "We'll hit them hard and fast," Varric instructed. "Let's strike their weakest ship first. It will cause confusion among their ranks." As they made their move, the crew's hearts raced. They unleashed a barrage of fire on a Garroth vessel that was separated from the main fleet. The explosions lit up the space around them, and the crew cheered as the enemy ship erupted in flames. "Now let's use the chaos to our advantage," Varric shouted, urging the crew to press forward. They maneuvered through the debris, targeting other Garroth ships. The crew worked in perfect harmony, recalling the teamwork they had admired in the humans' battles. But the Garroth quickly regrouped, launching their own counterattack. Laser blasts flew through the darkness, narrowly missing the Zeltrax warship. The crew was on high alert, adrenaline coursing through their veins. "Stay focused! Keep moving!" Varric commanded. Despite the odds, the Zeltrax remained determined. They continued to strike and dodge, taking down ship after ship. However, as the battle raged on, Varric noticed the larger Garroth ship from before advancing towards them, its weapons primed and ready. "It's time to face our greatest challenge," he said, his voice steady. "We can't let fear control us. We've come too far." The crew prepared for the fight of their lives. They adjusted their weapons, readying the ship's defenses. Varric felt a sense of unity among them. They were no longer just a crew, but a family bound by a common purpose. As the massive Garroth ship loomed closer, Varric made a bold decision. "Let's split up!" "Yarek, you lead a distraction team to draw their fire while the rest of us target their weapon systems. We need to take that ship down." Yarek nodded, a fierce look in his eyes. "Understood, Commander." "Let's show them what we're made of." With their plan in motion, Jarek's team raced ahead, drawing the attention of the Gareth ship. As it turned its weapons towards them, Varric seized the moment. "Now! Attack the weapons!" he shouted, firing their own weapons with precision. The Zeltrax warship unleashed a torrent of fire, targeting the Gareth ship's weapon systems. They watched as explosions rocked the enemy vessel, sending debris spiraling into space. The crew cheered, their spirits lifted by the sight of their enemy faltering. But the Gareth were not defeated yet. The massive ship unleashed a powerful blast, striking the Zeltrax warship and causing it to shudder. The crew braced themselves, but Varric quickly regained his focus. "We can't give up! This fight is for Earth and for humanity's legacy." With renewed determination, they continued to press the attack. The Zeltrax coordinated their efforts, working together to weaken the Gareth ship further. Finally, after a fierce exchange of fire, they saw an opening. "Now! All fire on that weak point," Varric commanded. The crew focused their fire, and the Gareth ship shuddered under the impact. With one final explosion, it erupted into flames, illuminating the dark void of space. A cheer erupted in the Zeltrax warship. "We did it! We took them down!" Lyra shouted, her voice filled with triumph. But Varric remained vigilant. "We must ensure the Gareth cannot regroup. We need to help those remaining." He turned to his crew. "Let's finish what we started." With the Gareth ship destroyed, the Zeltrax quickly turned their attention to the remaining vessels. They fought with everything they had, their spirits soaring as they remembered the lessons learned from humanity's past. As the last Gareth ship fell, the crew erupted into cheers. They had not only defended themselves, but had also honored the legacy of humanity. They knew they were now part of a greater story, one that spanned across time and space. "Let this be a lesson to all who threaten Earth," Varric declared, pride swelling in his chest. "We will protect this planet and its legacy at all costs." With victory in hand, the Zeltrax set a course back to Earth, ready to share their incredible story. They were guardians of the past, and they would ensure that the legacy of humanity would never be forgotten.